nonsense, huh? But if I have a television that has now they have 500 channels, right? Satellite TV? I don't know. I never had one of those TVs, but I heard about it. Anyway, you can get 500 different channels, and you still can't find anything interesting. But when we tune into Krishna, when we start reading Bhagavad-gītā and other scriptures, and we start hearing from self-realized souls, and when we start hearing from Krishna, then we start to hear stuff that's really interesting, that's really nourishing, because it's absolute truth. Absolute truth is that truth which is always true, unconditionally, past, present, and future, here, there, and everywhere. For every kind of living entity in every condition of life. That's absolute truth. Unconditionally true. Always true. So this is the nourishment for the soul, because by focusing on absolute truth, one regains one's original quality of consciousness. And this is joyful. This is happy. Automatically. You don't have to go outside yourself to experience happiness. You don't have to exploit others. You don't have to imitate God by trying to be the controller or trying to be something else that you're not. You just be who you really are. You're a spirit soul. You're a child of God. A child of the Supreme Lord. And a child is always dependent. A child is always waiting for the mercy of his parents. So similarly, the devotees are always dependent on Krishna. And they don't feel anything wrong with this. That's just the natural way to be. And also, they are constantly depending on the Lord for his mercy. This is our natural state. This is being a devotee. Devotees are always thinking of Krishna, they're always serving Krishna, they're always dependent on Krishna, and they're always protected by Krishna. Just like a parent and a child. So we should strive to be like that. We should try to be always dependent on the Supreme Lord, always thinking of him, always serving him, always meditating on his name and his qualities and his activities and his other attributes. This is devotee. This is devotional service. So, I guess I talked quite a bit already. What time is it?
1:20.
1:20? Well, I talked a lot, huh? No? You want to hear more? I think there's some questions, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Christian, what was your question? Give them the mic.
Yeah, well, my answer is...
Si quieres traduzco.
No. The definitions with the consciousness is saying to the services to Krishna.
Ask him in Spanish and then he can translate. It's too hard in English. Conocimiento.
Conciencia.
Conciencia es,
Oh, yeah?
es lo mismo que realizar servicio para Krishna.
Is consciousness the same as doing service to Krishna?
No, consciousness means when you're aware of something. Now I'm not conscious of seeing anything. I can't see anything, so I'm not conscious of it. Now I'm conscious of seeing. Okay? So our problem is we're not conscious of consciousness. It's very subtle. Very, very subtle. Most people are not aware that they are aware. Can you translate that?
La mayoría de las personas no están conscientes de que son conscientes. Yo puedo ver los objetos, pero también puedo observar que estoy observando objetos. La conciencia se ve a sí misma.
Think about it.
Piénsalo.
It's a little bit tricky, because it's so subtle. Consciousness is above the mind, above the intelligence, above the ego. Soul is supreme in the body and in the world. So we have to think of ourselves as being consciousness. We are conscious and we are consciousness. That's who we are, or that's what we are. And then the quality of our existence is completely determined by the quality of our consciousness. And the quality of our consciousness is determined by what we point our consciousness at. It's a matter of will, intention. If I think all day about bad, depressing things, then I'm going to feel terrible. Oh, how horrible. Oh yeah, the world is falling apart. We're running out of oil. There's probably going to be a nuclear war in Korea. Oh boy, great. But when I think of hopeful things like, oh, we're spirit souls. We're all immortal. Krishna is God, and He's all protecting us. And by serving Him, we get out of this material world and we never have to suffer anymore. Wow, that's fantastic. That's why we're always happy. Devotees are always happy. Even though, the material world's falling apart. Oh, well. We're all going to die. Okay, well, okay. But we're not going to die. We're not going to die. But the average person in this material world has nothing to look forward to but another life just like this one. But the devotees, they know they're going to a much better place. So they're not worried. I mean, even if this whole thing is false and it's just a lie, we would still be happier because we believe in such a beautiful lie. I thought this after 2 weeks of being a devotee, somebody came up. I was trying to preach, I think, and somebody said this to me. What if this whole thing is a lie and it's just a deception and all these stories are completely made up? Well, I thought a minute and I said, I would still be a devotee because I agree with these values. I agree that people should live a natural life and not hurt others, not kill animals, not take intoxication, and not gamble. I never did like those things anyway. And I think that people should be thoughtful. They should be considerate. They should look deeply into things. All these qualities are natural to a devotee. You see? So even if there really isn't any spiritual world and all of this is just hogwash, I would still believe in the same values. Because I always did anyway. So it really comes down to, how do you want to live your life? You want to always be attached to the senses and be a slave of the material world? Or do you want to be an autonomous, conscious living entity who directs his own destiny by controlling his consciousness so that he feels happy? You see? You want to be happy? Or do you want to be sad? Some people are going to say, well, I just want to be realistic. This is a terrible place, blah, 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 all this suffering. Well, that's because you're not aware of the whole world, the whole reality. This physical world, this matter, the material stuff, this is only a part of existence. It's actually a very small part of the existence. The full existence is actually based on consciousness. And now Western science is actually coming to this point of view with quantum mechanics. The full implications of quantum mechanics are very, very profound. They imply that the world that we perceive is actually a function of our consciousness. And that if we were to look at the world differently, we would see something completely different. This is a fact. And so modern science has actually come now to this point of view where consciousness is the supreme cause. You see? This is very good. This means that Western science has actually matured. The problem is the scientists themselves have not matured. They haven't applied this science to themselves.